Welcome, Josh.
Hey there.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you? How's the day been?
It's been really fascinating, hitting a lot of topics, every topic you can imagine, anything and everything agentic, and excited to see some demo in action.
Amazing.
What's the latest and greatest with Ask AI?
Yeah, for sure. Am I good to pull my screen up?
Absolutely.
Great. Let's go ahead and do that. So, all right. So let's go ahead and jump into things here. So just by way of introduction, everyone, I'm Josh. I'm the VP of Revenue at a company called Ask AI. We're a post AI company that's focused on B2B go-to-market and customer experience. And we really think it matters that our product is built from with AI from the ground up. So about a quarter of our employee population have advanced degrees in AI, and it's really at the heart of everything that we do. So I thought what I would do is just maybe start by framing up how we see the problem inside of your B2B, inside of your revenue organizations today. And so, as you think about sort of our sales cycles or our account structures, what we planned for was a relatively simple take on how our account teams would manage our customers, either our champions in a cycle or our advocates post sales, along with the executive buyers and the people who have to touch or feel our product on a day-to-day basis. But as our cycles, our businesses, and the competitive landscape of SaaS have gotten much more competitive, how we actually do business is much different, right? We rely on a much broader set of people across our organization, whether that's our delivery teams, our legal teams, our product and engineering teams. And we're consistently selling to more people across our customers' organization, right? Out to their IT teams, their legal teams, their executive teams, their users across their business, and a wider variety of departments or personas than we're probably used to in the past. And what this creates is quite a messy mode of communication across your organization and the customer's space, right? It sort of starts to look something like this. And as an AE or a CSM, we're the people who are actually responsible for managing this mess on a daily basis, right? We think and we hear all the time, from Gartner, buyers are spending less and less time with sellers. But on the flip of that, we hear sales cycles are getting longer and longer. So what are reps spending their time on? Well, what reps are spending their time on is managing the internal mess that we have to manage. And it actually results in about 70% of our time not being spent with our customers, not focused on selling, managing internal process. And that is largely driven because every organization, every department, every persona that you have inside of your own business is living in a different source of truth, right? Product and engineering are working out of Jira and Confluence. Solution engineering is got everything stored in Notion. Our executives are spread thin. Our sales teams are operating out of Gong. So every team has a very different source of reality, right? And so this mess of the knowledge and how your teams actually operate can be completely transformed with AI. And so there's lots of promise out there around how this actually can get done. But the current approach is not working for anyone I talk to. Almost everyone I talk to is inundated with AI stuff, right? Every vendor that's in their existing tech stack is banging on their door with a seed upgrade to add an AI feature, SKU, some sort of AI summary into their business. And there's a ton of overlap and not much clear value that's out there. So the way that we've approached this is by building a single platform for go-to-market and CX teams. It starts by looking at all of the knowledge and data that's inside of your organization across your field teams, your engineering teams, your G&A teams, and bringing it into one, what we call AI operating system, and allowing you to have the infrastructure, the tools, and the applications to build use cases on top of your own knowledge. And so there's three primary ways that people use Ask AI. The first is what we call a rep assistant. This is an AI agent that actually works alongside your reps to provide them AI answers and AI automations. The second is from a customer self-service perspective. How do you either on your website, your help center, or in your product help serve your customers with AI-powered resolutions? And the last is around intelligence. How do you look at the customer conversations that you're having across a variety of different objects inside of your business and use that to power different programs like voice of customer, quality assurance, risk identification, et cetera. So I'm going to jump in now to a couple examples and show you primarily we're going to focus on from things from a rep assistant perspective. So the first thing that I want to do is just introduce the Ask AI assistant to you. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the Ask AI assistant. And one thing that's fundamentally different about the approach that we've taken to deploying our product is that we deploy as a browser-based assistant. So that means no matter where reps work, whether they're in Slides like I am here, or they're in Salesforce or in Gong or in your product, they're always one click away from being able to access their AI assistant. So this is the interface here, and you'll see up at the top all of the connected knowledge that I have access to. This allows reps to get AI-powered access to knowledge from anywhere in your organization based on what you've connected into Ask AI. So let's jump into a couple of use cases. So we're going to jump into my inbox here. So assume I'm an SDR. I've been prospecting Scott at Arc'teryx, and I finally get a bite, right? I get a response and I get an ask for, hey, do you have any case studies that show how you improve response times and impact CSAT scores? Scott also has a question about how we differentiate from Salesforce, right? In the old world, I would probably go out to Slack. I would post these questions. I would wait till someone responds, or I'd search through HighSpot, and then eventually I'd get back to Scott, right? What I'm going to do instead is just jump into Ask AI, and I'm going to ask the agent for a little bit of help to respond to the email, highlighting 2 case studies and including a couple bullets on Salesforce comparison. And I'll just paste the email in here as well. So this is going to go ahead, and the agent's going to do a little bit of thinking. And it's going to go ahead and it's actually going to generate for me a draft response that allows for me to see, okay, here is a response to Scott's email. Here's the conductor case study. Here's the Rapid7 case study. And here's how they specifically address the 2 things that they were looking for in the email. And here's some information about how how we differentiate from Salesforce. So from here as a rep, I can interact with this. I can just copy this answer and I can go ahead and draft a response. So I can just go ahead and copy paste this into my email. It retains all the formatting, etc. And if I wanted to, I could also review some of the knowledge that's attached here. So I can actually dive directly into the documentation and start to review any of the battle cards, any of the source documentation that the team has built for me to help me actually do my work, right? From here, if I have follow-up questions, I can ask. So let's say, do we have any notable wins over Salesforce? Right. And so again, this will go ahead and it will query. You'll see that it uses a different set of tools this time in order to actually generate the answer. And it will actually pass me back a couple examples where we have a couple notable wins over Salesforce. If from here, let's say I still haven't found what I'm looking for, what I can do is actually now route this question to a dedicated Slack channel. So let's say something like our Ask Go-to-Market team. And I can actually tag a specific expert, maybe Adam, to actually get help. And why this really matters is this gives leaders a way to automate the Q&A that's happening inside of their organization today and actually build the knowledge repository that you have from the bottom up. Because now when Adam actually answers this question, we're going to go ahead and we're going to index it. And then we're going to allow that the next time an SDR or anyone else asks this question, they're going to get a direct answer from Ask AI. So let's look at a couple other examples here. So this same concept can now extend out to basically any other moment in your playbook where reps are working to prepare for customer activity, right? So here's an example where I might be prepping for a big demo, right? I have a demo with Apex Wave for our Secure AI product. I can come into Ask AI and I can actually use this agent to help me prep. So help me prep for my call with Apex Wave, help me outline the following. And this will search through all of the knowledge that we know about our customer in order to give us a real-time status of what's going on in the account. In a second, I'm able to actually understand how they use our product, what their usage looks like, what competitors have been mentioned in a cycle, what the next steps are, if there's any open cases that are attached to this account, and allow for me to have much better visibility and a level of sort of confidence that I actually can go execute in this demo as I go forward. And one thing that's really helpful with that is actually bringing knowledge that, most teams wouldn't see. So for our support team, obviously they live in Salesforce cases every day. But as a seller, I almost never look at Salesforce cases. So this gives me an opportunity to drive directly into the case. I get an AI-powered summary of the case, and I'm actually able to review it directly in line here as well. So when I jump on the call, I'm not surprised by the fact that there's an open case and maybe the customer is actually a little bit frustrated. So now let's make things a little bit more complex. So I'm going to jump into HubSpot. And let's say I'm working on some of my target accounts. And one of my target accounts is Beyond Trust. I'm going to go ahead and just highlight the text here. And you'll see that Ask AI starts to promote a few different options for me. This is what we call AI agents and apps. So I'm going to run this account research app. And this will allow me to actually generate, pardon me, wrong button. This is going to allow me to actually generate a specifically tailored research summary of this account. So this will go through and it'll provide me a high-level summary of the business, any recent news on the account, key executives and decision makers in the account, as well as quotes from their executives. In particular, something very specific to what we think about, how complex is the documentation on their website, and any references in our customer base that might actually be useful, right? And so now as I find, let's say, an executive from this research inside of my research here, I can go ahead and open up their LinkedIn profile, and I might run a new agent, right? Now I want to research the prospect. So now I can research the prospect in one button click, and I'm able to actually go ahead and see, a few new pieces of information. What's the overview on the prospect? What's important to know about the persona? What are the recent trends and professions that in this profession, that are taking place? How Ask AI adds value, and any relevant content that maybe I should share directly with this prospect as I'm going out to actually send a message here on Sean's LinkedIn, right? And so what's really great about each of these agent or app use cases, and I'll show you this in a second, each one of the components that you're seeing in terms of output is completely customized based on your use case, right? For me, it's really relevant to understand what the trends in the profession are today, because a lot of it's changing around AI. You might have a very specific persona feature that you want to actually get out in your research for your team, or something very specific that you need to identify on the web about accounts as you do research. Our agent's able to actually allow you to go and do that, and you're in full control of what that output looks like. I'll show you that in just a second here. And so maybe just one last use case here is, you can extend this to just about anything that your reps do on a daily basis. This is one that I use almost every day, which is how do I actually handle legal red lines and do some lightweight cleanup before I push this back to deal desk or back to my customers. This allows me to just go ahead, highlight the text in an agreement, run the review red lines application here, and this will actually query all of the approved contracts in our database and give me guidance about, can I accept this term or not, right? And so for something that often looks like a different language to Josh, I'm now able to actually participate, turn these around much faster, and really reduce the customer wait time. So the last thing that I wanted to show you here is just how these agents and apps come together. And this comes through what we call our no-code builder. So basically here, you have the ability to build an array of different apps. And so I showed you the account research app at the beginning here. And I'll just maybe dive into how this comes together. So you have the opportunity to build an app yourself. There's obviously some basic configuration, but then you can start to actually set up the configs. So I showed you a few of these, right? We might want to highlight a set of text like the legal review, or we might want to actually scrape a full web page, right? Like the LinkedIn profile to actually start to gather information. From here, I can plug into any AI model that I want to use. We call this an AI gateway to use the right model for the right task. And then I can start to connect to different data sources and tools. So this agent actually has access to a couple different tools. It has access to all the knowledge that's in Ask AI. It has access to a Google-powered search, and it has access to a web crawler. And you can add a variety of different tools and actions here as you like, and then build out a structured prompt that uses those tools to complete the agent's action. So maybe just in closing, one thing that people almost always ask me is, okay, where do I start with deploying AI across the go-to-market org or across the revenue org? And where I'd really urge you to look is in Slack, right? There's so much internal noise that's happening in Slack on a day-to-day basis. Every leader I talk to knows that it doesn't make sense to escalate things aimlessly into Slack, that we have channels that just bog down our SEs or our PS team or our engineers. And what you can do with Ask AI, and you can do in a really easy way, is actually get very clear metrics on the number of questions that exist in your Slack channels, how many of those questions repeat, how many of those questions you can actually answer with the knowledge you have today, along with a set of other metrics that will really show you where the problems are to solve in terms of your team's operation, how they actually use knowledge internally. And for anyone that's here today, if you'd like to do one of these analysis, we're happy to do that for you at no cost. So that's 15 minutes on us. I appreciate it. I hope everybody's having a great day. And if you'd like to jump in on something like this, my email's here. It's Josh@AskAI. Thanks a lot.
Super cool. Thank you so much, Josh. Let's just address one quick. Oh, Josh is gone. No question is going to be addressed.